Recording in progress.
So this is why I mute myself.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Ready?
Go ahead.
All right, call meeting to order, 7:36. I can get a roll call, please.
Vicky Clark here, Ben Wallace,
Here.
Mr. Harvey. He is on his way.
We get a motion to approve the agenda.
Can't because we don't.
Oh, yeah.
We need public comment. Takes longer.
Yeah.
You have to ask Emily.
Anybody online?
Mr. Carr, can you hear us? I'm just curious since, maybe you can let us know.
I can hear
I can
you.
hear you.
Okay, and we can hear you. Wow, God is good. Thank you. No public comment. Right, so we can, so we have no consent agenda, we can't approve the minutes, but we could discuss and review the board agenda for February eighth. Because there's no action there, maybe perhaps we could do that. Do you want me to go over it real quick?
Yeah, just,
Okay.
kind of highlights.
So you did not get this in advance, so I apologize, I just distributed it, this morning, and if it looks appropriate, and we'll put it in this packet, on the published online version, so I didn't get it out to you earlier.
Sure.
It's it'll be a fairly busy meeting, we'll do the CEO report as normal. Good morning, Ms. Reed. Good morning. We will do the, update on the new board members for the EDC, so we'll provide an update on that. Then the task forces, we'll do a quick update on the task force, agendas and what they're busy doing.
You don't mind asking, how's your workforce development task force? Has that been pretty, since the meeting, the last couple?
So I kicked them all off in earnest in January.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, I think I had a business attraction and retention meeting last week. I almost think I must have had a workforce meeting because I think Scott Coverly was there. So the emphasis right now on workforce is workforce readiness for Blue Oval and other, feeder or supply opportunities and current opportunities. Okay. Since you asked, I will tell you that I was at a conference yesterday. And the last 3 conferences I've been to just continue to reiterate that a lot of the less skilled positions won't exist, in some of these more high technical plants. And so really getting the technical skills out to our folks is the critical piece. We are working on a NOAA grant. And I'm trying to make it a regional ask, so I've been reaching out to others. We're trying to hopefully, gain some traction, having Ford be one of the employers that would benefit from that grant, and we would have KCC, MMTC. I saw Idberg Hill yesterday, so her program will come in and do some training. So we're really trying to ramp up the training and then just generate the dollars. What we're finding is now the capacity is on the trainers.
Okay.
So, the trainers are having a hard time building capacity or committing capacity. So that's kind of what's happening with workforce.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Once we finish those reports, we would move into the consent agenda, which we won't have anything in it. We would then approve the minutes. We would then approve the treasurer's report. I did receive the treasurer's report from the finance director yesterday. Not enough time for me to really take a look at it. and be able to give you an overview today. I know we're trying to do that in the executive meeting, but it came into my inbox while I was out, so I didn't try to do it last time. So we'll go over that in the meeting. There will be, several items for the Colson group that we'll want to review and discuss and approve. And these are an industrial development district, a plant rehabilitation district, that's creating a district. And then there are two TIFA applications, tax increment finance applications, one for relative to the industrial development district and one relative to the plant rehabilitation district. So, that may take a little time to discuss, so, yours is right up here.
Right here, Mr. Harvey, in your guidance chair.
So our role as the EDC is to help the, applicants understand the requirements, take a look at this from a business perspective. Then we pass this on to council, so we have to approve the creation of the districts and then approve the creation of the TIFAs. And then council also approves. So this is the first step in getting these moving forward for Colson Group. Colson Group, as you know, owns Albion Industries, and they recently purchased a large 15-acre piece of property in the industrial, park, the current industrial park, and, they are looking to expand. So the industrial development district can theoretically be multiple parcels. It can be a whole district. We could have in this case done like the other half of the park that doesn't have an IDD. But I don't wanna hold up Colson's activities by trying to do more right now. So that can actually be very broad. And there will be, when it gets to council, there has to be a public hearing to see if anyone really does wanna get involved. So that could grow when it gets that far. The plant rehabilitation district is to rehabilitate the current plant that's there. After many, many conversations, we've come to the conclusion that in this case, both those districts will be the exact same parcel. If, for example, the plant rehabilitation was very, very small, less than 50% of the total current plant, then the plant rehabilitation will be smaller than the industrial development district, and it would require a separate survey, but we've come past that. So we have the same survey, the same application for both. And then the TIFA application, hopefully, if they get their part done and I get my part done, you'll be able to see the impact of what that incremental finance, reduction in taxes would be for them. So that will happen, those 4 items will happen. Birch Street Lofts has made their winter 2023 tax payment, so we will now true up their summer and winter 23 brownfield TIFA payment and approve it at this level and send that up to council. And then they will approve it and we'll get that payment out to them. We will then enter into a closed session, to consider the purchase or lease of real property up to the time the option to purchase or lease that real property is obtained. We will come out of that closed session and discuss and approve any recommendations that come from that closed session. We also, while we are in that closed session, need to just redistribute these minutes from some priors that we need to clean up. And so those have to be reviewed in closed session, but approved in open session. So we won't be able to distribute those, we never do that, but we do need the board to approve those coming out of that session. And then we will move into, comments, from the various parties who are ex officio on this board and, the board at large. I did, reach out to the Chamber of Commerce this morning, because I haven't seen a Chamber of Commerce representative here in a while. So I asked the board chair and the, CEO if it's possible they could begin attending. I gave them the next day, hope that would happen.
Yep.
I know Dick Porter, is trying to limit the number of meetings he's attending. And then, so I also reached out to, Ken Blight from Albion Township to see if we could engage. We just have a lot of big things happening that are much bigger than the city of Albion now, so it would be a good time to make sure we're bringing in as many parties as possible that, you know, won't be impacted by some of the opportunities we're looking at. And that is what I have currently. I feel like somebody told me that they could only stay until 8, but for the sake of me, I can't remember who that was. Did somebody say that they could only, okay, then it wasn't, okay. So I think it may be a bit of a long meeting. The closed session might take a few minutes. So Mr. Harvey will not be with us that day unless your plans change. So when we go in, and you'll be online, and when we go into closed session, you will not be in that part of the meeting. Nelson will not be at this meeting either, but Richard Lindsay will be with us. So he will take us into closed session, because you have to have your attorney to go into closed session. And that's about all I know.
Super, thank you.
I will mention that the March meetings, in March, there's 2 required public meetings for the TIFA and the brownfield, and we utilize the March meetings to do those and an overall economic update. So keep in mind that the March meeting, which is on the 7th of March, is at 5 p.m. that evening. And I don't have the place identified yet, so, but if you notice at the bottom of this draft agenda, it says the next meeting is March 7th at 5. So that's the big meeting where, you know, hopefully we get more people in because it's a more convenient time. So we have a board meeting and then we move into the economic update. Last year, I believe we convened a board meeting at a different time, so that we could carry on some of the business. I'm not sure if that's something to consider this time too, because it tends to make for a long meeting, because the city manager comes and gives a city update, the EDC gives an EDC update. In the past, Upjohn has come and given an economic update. So I don't know if you want to consider another meeting around the March timeframe where we would carry on board business. Just a thought I had as I was putting this together, remembering that that's what happens in March.
I won't be around that week, just.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know others won't either.
So from the perspective of what is tradition to happen, is there merit and the tradition that citizens come to that meeting with the expectation that there's gonna be a Upjohn update, given the economic perspectives in the community? Has that been something that's gone on long enough that, you know, our community looks for?
So so last March, we didn't have that because I didn't do that, because I didn't connect the dots and I didn't make that call. So we broke precedence next year because I didn't know to do it. So we can go back to that, or we could go back to having somebody come in. We could certainly have some guest speakers come in or someone come in. There's a number of people now that I've been in the role long enough that I could reach out to someone. So we could definitely do that.
Well, I would think, that has shown, in my opinion, good community knowledge, providing, right, the community with a broad, upjohn kind of update. It doesn't have to be a half an hour, right? The 12 minutes of an update from an outside perspective would be helpful. And we again, we're providing a service and the economic outlook for the community. That's part of our job. I think we would probably want to go back and have it.
So then the question is whether we want to have a more traditional board meeting, perhaps the week after that, because we won't really have a board, it doesn't sound like we're gonna have much of a board meeting, on the 7th. We have a number of people that won't be here.
Just be an update. Just an update.
We really will just have the economic update at 5 o'clock on the 7th, but we won't have a board meeting where anything can be decided or voted on or updates given to the board.
And Virgie, you know, and fellow board members, you know, it may be an update to its fullest respect. Not only an economic update, but a community update from the EDC's perspective as well. And an encouragement that our community citizens attend that meeting to hear firsthand from the EDC what we're doing and what the horizon looks like. As you've skillfully mentioned several times, you know, these are exciting times for Albion now, and a lot is happening right now. I couldn't think of a better time to make sure that, from a communication standpoint, the community hears that and understands it firsthand. And we encourage the community to come in that vein, to hear firsthand versus secondhand, thirdhand, inaccurate information. I'm sure the citizens would appreciate that, hearing it firsthand.
Is your microphone on?
How about now? Is that better? Yes. Thanks.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is the agenda for the March 7th board meeting will be at 5 p.m. as scheduled. And it will be an economic and overall EDC update. We will bring in some guest speakers to try to give a more regional update. We'll make sure that the city manager has it on her calendar. And we don't necessarily then need to have another board meeting in March to do any board business.
But if there are agenda items that need to be managed, perhaps another date would be in order. I don't want to slow your momentum, right? If we need to pick another date, and Ben has already mentioned East
Second week of March would probably be better.
Yeah, so if we need to, you know, have some voting done or some items, discussed, then that second time, when the majority of our board is available, let's do it.
So can we pick that date now? Yeah, your phone's calendar.
So if we just stick with Thursdays, Thursday is 14th, a week later would be fine for me.
That's March what, then?
14th.
March 14th.
7:30 a.m.
Mr. Clark, any?
Nope.
No, we can't have it.
No, I'm saying, I mean,
Oh, yes, you can.
so are you all right with it?
I am.
Okay.
Nelson, can you make that meeting? March 14th at 7:30 in the morning.
March 14th. Yes.
Thank you. So since we have one now, can I have a motion on that, please?
So we approve the agenda and stuff?
Yes, do you want, yes, I'm
So
sorry.
I would make a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Been moved in second, roll call vote needed for,
No.
have a motion, no?
All those in favor? Opposed?
So we just move on to discussion items.
Yes. Um. Okay, board minutes? Do you wanna do the approval of the board minutes?
Yes.
There.
So we have board minutes from our, last meeting. Is there any differences that anyone sees in those minutes that need to be corrected? If not, can I have a motion to approve?
Have a motion to approve the board minutes.
Second.
It's been moved, second. It's been given, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Board minutes have been approved from our last meeting.
Okay, so we were in the process of discussing the agenda for the next meeting. And as an offshoot to that, we decided to have another board meeting on March 14th. So I'm hoping to get a motion we don't have to approve this draft in this meeting, but I'm hoping to get a motion to approve having another board meeting at 7:30 on the 14th.
I would make a motion to hold board meeting on March 14th at 7:30 AM.
So moved.
There's been an initial move and a second to initiate a second board meeting or a board meeting on March 14th. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against say nay. There's none. It's been moved and we have a board meeting now scheduled on 14th, 7:30 AM on the 14th.
Yes, thank you. So is there any other feedback on next week's agenda or anything maybe I'm missing? Yeah, I'm sorry, I just passed it out this morning. Not a lot of time to figure it through. If something comes up, please call me. This isn't in stone, this is just a meeting for planning, so. Something to be added or changed.
It's good to be.
Looks good to good, looks good to me.
It'll be a busy day.
It'll be a busy day.
But it's momentum forward,
Yes, praise God. I will give all the board members a quick call and make sure everyone remembers, because I did try to reschedule this and I could have funky on somebody's calendar, so I'll just make a quick call to everybody. Public comment? No, okay.
From our Zoom audience.
Nothing online.
Report. Where do we fit in?
I'm sorry.
Coming speaker.
Oh, I
Where
can do it now. You mean on the 27th?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, the EDC is, sponsoring and or looking for support to help sponsor, a speaker that is coming in, on February 27th. She will be here from 6 to 8. She'll be spending the night and we will be arranging for a breakfast the next morning if anyone on the board would like to attend. It's the Honorable Representative Lisa Howes. You may know of her, she's been in the House and she also ran for mayor of Detroit. Did not win, but, lots of experience as I can attest to. You learn a lot for every time you run. She is a CPA. We go a ways back. We used to be on the MICPA board together. And she is an entrepreneur and she is an author and she is an enthusiastic public speaker. She will be delivering, she has a book called Candy Girl Mentality. The women in my office received a copy of that for Christmas this year. And she will be delivering a talk out at Freeway Church. And the title is Empowering Black Voices. So this is a capstone for us for Black History Month. And we're very excited to be sponsoring her to come to town and also again, continuing to look for some sponsorships and help with that. But, the most important thing is that if you could save the date from 6 to 8, and again, the board will be invited to a breakfast in the morning. We will be offering, I haven't got this email out yet, so I'm a little ahead of my schedule, but we will be offering college students a chance to sit with her after her talk at 6. We're going to also have a musician, so it'll be kind of a fun event. And then the college students will be able to sit and chat with her and ask some questions. And we're hoping, of course, that we'll do a book signing and, you know, kind of make it a full event for her. So we're very excited about having her come in 27th. And, yeah, I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I don't look thrilled, I'm sure, but it's early, so, but very excited about the event. Thank you for asking.
So I happen to know Lisa as well, and though this has been a great effort from on Virgin's part to put this together, and it is a event around Black History Month, I want to encourage all of our community to participate in this. Lisa is a dynamic business person and a good leader and has a good message and clearly can help our community small business people, if no more than from an inspirational standpoint, but clearly a hands-on standpoint as well. And so as Virgin is moving forward with this, one of the things I have mentioned and asked for her is to make certain that every component of our community knows about this and has an opportunity to participate. Because if you're a small business person, 5-7 years into business, she's got a good message for
Are we gonna have some marketing materials for
So I'm waiting right now for the flyer. Her office is actually preparing it because she's does that. She's very professional. So we sent to her our logos and now she's preparing it coming back. So once we have it, you'll see it all over.
that? Super.
Nothing.
you. Any other items? Yeah?
I
Well,
don't think so. If I do, I forgot.
okay.
Is there something I've forgotten? Please feel free to tell me. Okay, all right.
So I know that, I know there's a number of things that are moving, so, with that being said, no other comments from anyone, public comment, from our audience, Ms. Steve? Any public comment from you, or any public comment from our Zoom audience? If not, we're moving toward adjournment.
More than we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Thank you all. Have a great day.